Students in the Daytona State College Broadcast Television Production Associate of Science degree work as production crew members in the following program.
Welcome to the beautiful Daytona State College here in Daytona Beach for Wednesday night women's college basketball. Tonight, it's the Daytona State Falcons taking on the Santa Fe Saints. We're thrilled to have you here, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Drew Felios alongside Chance Dyson, part of the student broadcasting program here at Daytona State. It is a huge sports weekend here in Daytona. Of course, the Daytona 500 this weekend, but we've got our own race to the conference finish here tonight. This should be a great game.
This should be a great game, Drew. Obviously tied for first place in the conference, going for a big win here from either side. Looking for a great game. Mid-Florida
Conference could be at stake here in the next few hours. Let's take a look at some of the star players. Number 32, Alicia Curry, certainly the one to watch for Santa Fe. Also, Rosie Nicholson will wear number 1. She gives 100% all the time, and she is a sophomore. They are coached by Shonda Stebbins in her 18th season, 5 Mid-Florida Conference titles, so well known in the middle part of the states, one of the true greats in women's college basketball here at the junior college level. On the other side for Daytona State, it will be 1 through 4, Washington, Williams, Lee, and Westbrook, and Manhertz, number 22, will get the start. She had that three-point stroke working in the last game. And talk about the coach for Daytona State, it is Janice Brim, and the game plan worked to perfection last week, Chance. Hopefully the same happens tonight.
For sure, Drew, yeah. Game plan worked to perfection. Looking for a big game out of them.
So Coach Washington, with her team coming off a big win last week right here on this court against the College of Central Florida. Daytona State is raring to go. There's Sherelle Washington, the sophomore guard, and we are set to get underway. Officials tonight, Daryl Darkwins, Alan Holton, and Julia D'Ambrosio. Alicia Curry will jump it up for Santa Fe. Santa Fe wears the navy blue uniforms, and Daytona State will wear the home gray. Let's do this. Keani Westbrook jumping for Daytona State. And a quick shot taken by the Saints. Comes off the rim, rebounded by Washington. Work it inside, and that's a nice move by Westbrook, and that should be a good matchup for the Falcons tonight. Falcons will attack again. Paris Williams. Oh, nice job hitting the trailer. A little bit too strong by Westbrook that time. Santa Fe Saints have won 7 games in a row. They are on fire coming into the Lemarant Center here tonight. There's Jones with the move inside, and she goes off the glass. So this is a very confident team, Chance, that has come in here to try and upset Daytona State. There's another strong move, and Chardell Jones will go to the free throw line. Well, Halifax Health is a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and is the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Daytona State Falcon basketball. Jones at the line. She had a huge game against the College of Central Florida. You can kind of see, Chance, that confidence right now is coming into this game here tonight.
Right, and when you're coming off of a 7-game win streak, and not only that, when you're averaging a high of 80 points a game, there's there's no more you can ask for from two great squads.
Long pass to Washington, and she converts, and that's a good way to break that press.
For sure, yeah. Again, Coach Washington says she loves to see this team run. They're electric to watch. So you definitely want to see them run, get back on defense, and do a great job.
Four 3 lead early here for Daytona State. Extra pass made. That comes out just a little bit long. Rodriguez missed the shot, and you can see how both teams want this game badly, both getting on the deck here in the opening minutes.
Right, Drew, and yeah, there is no doubt these teams want this win. It's obviously for the #1 spot in the conference, deciding who holds the seed of #1 position for the playoffs.
Saints pressing again. Daytona State a pass away from breaking it, but a turnover force, and now it's Doucette for Santa Fe. And that ball dribbled away and out of bounds, belonging to the Falcons. It's going to be a few jitters here in the early going. This game, a game of this magnitude, Coach Washington talked about it last week before the College of Central Florida game. She said, we know tonight's important, but next week, that Santa Fe game is going to be the one that we really circle.
Right, and when you have a big game to focus on like this, obviously you've got a strong team like College of Central Florida, and then you have to focus on playing a team like this. So definitely a lot to focus on.
Got a foul on the floor this time as Janiah Thompson gets ready to be the first substitute of the game for the Falcons. And she will check in and replace Taylor Manhurst.
She's a big one to watch as well. Lefty, explosive post player, and has surpassed many expectations, as said by Coach Washington.
Game one of a doubleheader here at the Lemarant Center as Carrie Lee knocks it away. A little too quick, lost it. And Daytona State with an opportunity for Thompson. She hit it against the bottom of the backboard. Now it's Jones, little hesitation. She is strong going to the cup. So Chardell Jones coming off that 26-point performance on Saturday against the College of Central Florida. Really feeling it right now. She's got the first 5 points for the Saints. Paris Williams really took over in the opening minutes. And the final minutes last week, off on the shot, out of bounds to the Saints. Rodriguez handling, the point guard out of Miami. Started her college at Kaiser University, made the transition over to Santa Fe. Get it inside again to Jones. This time she's blocked. And we have a foul. And we'll go the other way towards Daytona State. That's going to be on Alicia Curry, her first.
The Amazon Saints Alicia Curry, her first. Team first. Daytona State basketball.
Strong drive to the hole here. Obviously, Chardell Williams loving to work in the post so far. Like you said, first 5 points for the Santa Fe Saints.
Yeah, clearly you get an idea of where Daytona State wants to target the basketball here.
It just seems like they can't get in rhythm. Obviously, like you said, first quarter jitters, but it just seems almost like they can't get in rhythm.
I think both teams know how big of a game this is and sort of the feeling out process in these first few minutes.
Right.
Nicholson inside, Curry. Tough to get over. Westbrook, and now it's Keontae Westbrook leading the break. Carrie Lee couldn't save it with the left hand. It's another turnover.
Right, and again, turnovers are going to be a key factor here in this game, Drew, with especially of how big of a game this is, all the jitters, everything that's going on right now.
Long three for Alexander, right into the hands of Curry. Third try is up for Nicholson, and Rosie Nicholson will go to the free throw line. That's one thing that Santa Fe does extremely well. They are second in the region in rebounding. They will crash the glass until there's snow tomorrow.
Right, and when you're a strong team like that, obviously players like Chardell who crash the glass, and when you average 50 rebounds a game, you just have a strong team, and it makes it so much easier to coach your girls and make it easier to win.
In fact, Santa Fe, if you want a number that really stands out, they average 22 offensive rebounds per game. That is really high. Total of 49 per game, just under 50 at 49.8. Washington shot way long, and it was tipped that time, so it'll stay with the Falcons. Sherelle Washington has got to get going. Remember, she had a recruiting trip last week. Don't believe she has one this week, so maybe she'll settle in a little bit better. Here's that wicked crossover.
Right, great shot here. Obviously, probably looking for a foul there, but the ball was tipped. Falcons got the ball back.
Mid-range jumper comes off. Good fight underneath, and the Falcons get the putback. Nicely done by Paris Williams. Paris Williams, the only returning starter for the Falcons. Jones way off on the shot. There's another offensive rebound, though, for Santa Fe. Daytona State has got to try and limit these Saints to just one shot. Tipped. Megan Riley comes away with it. Riley has it stolen, though, and they miss the layup. Timeout going to be called by Coach Washington.
Timeout Daytona State, their first timeout.
Coach Washington talking things over with her team after committing that turnover. I think everybody seemed to leave Riley that time after she got her hands on it. I think Coach Washington wants some of those players to maybe stay back and help out. Is going to get a lot of pressure, defensive pressure on both sides here tonight. The team that handles it the best may be the team that comes out victorious.
Right, and you have to run in transition as a team in order to get great offensive drives. When you don't run together and you get one man or one woman left behind in the backcourt, you can easily be double teamed and commit a turnover, as you just saw right there.
Denasia Bogle checks in for Santa Fe. Coach Washington and this team has put in just amazing amounts of work over the last few months. Now is the time to make that work pay off. Important games like this one here tonight.
Right, and when you put all this work in, you love to see it succeed because, again, two strong teams here between Santa Fe and Daytona.
Paris Williams stepping out. It's a three.
Number 2, Paris Williams, with that great assist-to-turnover ratio, obviously shooter as well. She's starting to heat up.
Yeah, good news for Daytona State. Open jumper on the other side. This one comes out. And the Falcons with Williams now on a run. And again, the pressure gets to Westbrook. Bogle backs it out. Saints now will set it up. Good look, wide open, converted, and one. So that's Tania Bowers scoring for Santa Fe. So Bowers now goes to the line. This young lady, one of the few two-sport athletes in this game here tonight. She's also a softball superstar. Very difficult to do. Those two sports, of course, intersect, basketball and softball, during the winter and spring.
Absolutely, yeah, that has to be difficult.
A lot of people don't realize the dedication, not just in sports, but what these athletes go through in the classroom as well. Pick and roll this time, and a foul drawn. Sarah Placid will have 2 shots. I mean, you know, you go to school here at Daytona State, Chance, just how difficult it is alone to keep up with your studies, let alone take on one sport as well as two sports. That's incredible.
Right, it absolutely is incredible. And honestly, again, you say, you know, it's rare. It's very rare, but obviously she has a lot of great talents on that side, and just nice to see.
Here at Daytona State, 161 student athletes in 8 varsity sports: soccer, basketball, cross country, volleyball, golf, baseball, and softball on the women's side. Oh, nice save that time, and Santa Fe comes out of there wanting to run. Rodriguez, their guards really push it up the court quickly. Jones the extra pass. And now a jumper. This one goes down, and that's Tegan Rothrock, the freshman out of Cocoa. Just get the feel that this game is going to be nip and tuck all night long. The matchups are just perfect on both sides.
That's for sure, Drew. Again, we said, obviously, you know, tied for number 1. It's a strong game by 2 great teams.
Jumper, this one's a 3. Off, but put back up and in by Rothrock. So 4 straight for Rothrock off the bench.
And the Falcons have to work on their rebounds. If they don't get in rhythm on the defensive rebound side and not let Santa Fe take over so fast, there's no way that they can win this game.
Also, quick shots like that. Sometimes if you're Daytona State, you got to pull it out, run the play, try and execute. Tie-up ball belongs to Santa Fe. Have to mention the last time that these two teams played. And again, it was a great game, very tightly contested on both sides. But it was Santa Fe with a 4-point victory, 65-61. Kick it out, top of the key. Nicholson just off the mark. Megan Riley was absolutely scorching last Wednesday, and she has shown she has not cooled off at all.
Not at all, Drew. And Megan Riley, if she gets going in this game, it's going to be a huge factor in deciding who wins for Daytona State.
Both these teams shooting the lights out right now. Santa Fe up by 4 as we come to the end of this first quarter.
Daytona State basketball.
See how the defense trying to set the tone for the Saints. Good crossover by Williams. And the baseline take by Carrie Lee will draw a foul and give her 2 free throws.
The fouls on the Saints, Tanaya Bowers, her first, team third.
So some of the bigger games for this Daytona State women's team this year. Big win over Chipola back on November 15th, 80-78. That was a classic. And then a huge one over Santa Fe. 63-59 the first time these two teams faced each other.
Right, and obviously all of them have been tight games and just well played by both sides. Carrie Lee hitting that, one of those ones that Coach Janice Washington has said as a Swiss Army knife, has a lot of different skills that can provide them and take them to a win.
Saints patient. Nicholson lets it go. Good outlet pass. Here's Paris Williams. That's who you want. Brilliant pass. Oh, they missed the layup. And a foul committed by Daytona State. That is one you gotta have on the break.
Right, you've got to make shots like that because especially, obviously, towards the end of the first quarter, the momentum is rising in Santa Fe, and they're looking to take this game and take a lead all the way into the second quarter.
So I mentioned the series. Tonight, the third time these two teams have faced off. Daytona State won the first battle at the beginning of January, Santa Fe the second. This sort of the rubber match here, and the winner of this game could very well lead the rest of the way in conference play.
Again, just like in this game, just like in the series, nip and tuck all the way through. You cannot have a bad game between these two teams.
Bowers at the line, the two-sport athlete from Trenton, puts in the free throw, and two players will check in for the Saints. Alexander along with Jones. Final 30 seconds of this opening quarter. Shot got away that time. And now a chance at the final possession for Santa Fe. 5 seconds. Alexander got to do something with it, and it's overthrown. Daytona State now with 3 seconds to try and get a shot off.
Plenty of time here for Daytona State. They just need to get the ball inbounded, down the court, and away from the defensive pressure of these Saints.
Guard play so important in this game. Final shot from Williams, way short. And that's how we'll end the first quarter. So both teams with some jitters coming out. Coach Washington's Daytona State Falcons lead early, but a late charge by Santa Fe puts them up for 16-12. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Thrilled to have them aboard this year here for Daytona State Athletics. The official healthcare provider for all Falcon sports here at Daytona State. Drew Felios alongside Chance Thyssen here at the Lemoran Center. Second game, Chance, you've had a chance to work, and the first of another doubleheader here tonight. It's such a great place to be during the winter. I mentioned, too, the Daytona 500 this weekend. I'll tell you what, driving in here to Daytona State College, just you get chills seeing all the TV trucks, all the RVs getting ready. You take a look at our officiating crew. They are ready here tonight, but there's just a certain buzz around this city and this campus this week.
Right, and NASCAR is such an important sport here in Daytona, obviously, Drew. And I'll be honest with you, I love the sport, but I hate the traffic. Every day coming into school, you're stuck on ISB constantly. So I've managed to figure out a couple of the little back ways here around town. But obviously, very exciting. Race to the finish here. Who do you got? Who do you think's going to win the 500?
Oh, man, that is a tough call. You put me on the spot. I'm going to have to take a few moments. I'll probably give you a call and a pick during the men's game. I got to look at the field one more time. Such an exciting week, though, here on the East Coast. Mid-Florida Conference matchup here. Oh, that's great ball movement. And Sarah Placid scores for the Falcons.
Right, and those are the shots the Falcons have to finish in order to win this game. Obviously, going into the early first, weren't finishing where they needed to, but are starting to work on that here in the second.
That's where they want it, down low. Put it up a second time and get it to go. That's just battling by Jones inside.
Such a strong player, obviously, fighting for that offensive board.
Oh, stolen. Here comes Alexander. Easy two.
That's Alexander's third steal of this game.
We know Daytona State can score the basketball. Sometimes the problem lies in the ball movement, making sure everybody gets a touch and being patient offensively.
Right. Yeah, and just like the men's side, we said last week they had to be patient. They had to learn that patience, and just like that, the women's have to be able to do that, especially against a strong team like Santa Fe.
Good execution again. There's Janiah Thompson, the lefty. She has surpassed all expectations here in her freshman season out of Fort Pierce, Florida.
Right, and as you can tell, as mentioned earlier, explosive post player, left-handed player, obviously very difficult to guard.
Alexander with a teardropper She was fading away on the bench that time, Chance. Santa Fe starting to heat up from the outside. Here's Williams now. He's got Bowers on her, takes her to the goal. Nicholson ahead. Curry running the floor. She'll score. Timeout Daytona State. Coach Washington wants to talk things over here. Her team not getting back as quickly on defense as she would like. The execution has lacked just a little bit the last few trips down. And there you take a look at the Falcons huddle. Coach Washington has taught her team all season long. Don't be soft. Believe in the system. And she also wants every player to know it's more than just basketball. On the other side, Coach Shanda Stebbins, one of the great coaches in the junior college game I mentioned. You know, she coached some great players that went on to the University of Florida, including my colleague at ESPN, Steffi Sorensen, was once suiting up for this program at Santa Fe. And she played for Mary Wise, the legendary volleyball coach right now at the University of Florida. So she was a two-sport athlete back in the day, volleyball, basketball. Sherelle Washington now defending here for Daytona State. Another whip pass. Oh, Santa Fe is rolling at the moment. Alicia Curry scores again, and the lead is up to 11. Kaya Fulton in the game for the Falcons. That's your girl. Riley doesn't draw anything. Save attempt. And now the Saints. Nicholson with the lay-in. This is a big-time run here for Santa Fe. They have opened up a 13-point lead.
Right, and the Falcons have to get hot here if they want any chance of winning. Obviously, a little around 6:40 left here in the first, at the end of the second quarter, beginning of the first half. And so if they want to win, they have to heat up, and they definitely need to at least tie the game before going into halftime.
Defensive pressure right now getting to Daytona State. Another turnover. And here come the substitutes for the Falcons. You see when Paris Williams is out of the game, number 2, things really change for Daytona State. They've got to have her on the floor pretty much at all times. There's Paris right there. Remember, she took over in the final moments last Wednesday against College of Central Florida. She is the playmaker.
Right, obviously that strong assist-to-turnover ratio, able to move the ball around very well and create that patience and that maturity for the Daytona State offense.
Bowers now inbounds it. Here's Curry. Tell you what, this Santa Fe team, they're not very big. And we got a whistle here. Let's see. I was about to say they're not very big, but they play big and they play very fast. And right now they've got Daytona State playing a lot faster than they want to play.
Right, I think Coach Washington's game plan, it seems as to me, was to slow the game down because she knows that both teams are very fast. And so she wanted to slow it down on Santa Fe, but it seems like Santa Fe is just not, not only picked up the speed.
What a move. Alicia Curry with the drop step. That was nasty. Daytona State trying to settle down. Westbrook runs into a wall, but still puts it off the glass. That's a big bucket right there.
Right, and the Falcons have to heat up and let their offense move, let them move freely, work fast.
Work it right in the middle of that zone. Outside jumper now. This one in and out. And it's going to stay with Santa Fe. Interesting. Right now, Daytona State, they're kind of sitting back chance in that zone. And on the other side, Santa Fe is really applying lots of pressure. And Santa Fe taking advantage, just finding holes in that zone right now as Jones scores again.
Right, and especially with two strong streams, running a press against a zone defense is very hard.
Another foul.
The foul is on the Saints and Zoe Alexander, her first.
And Sherelle Washington will go to the line. County Westbrook rather at the line, freshman out of Augusta. Westbrook specializing in rebounding and defending. They're going to need a lot of that tonight.
Right, not only that, great in the mid-range. Hoping to see some of that out of her tonight.
Good crowd on hand. Really making their voices heard here inside the Lemarant Center. Alexander leaned in that time, put it up, and good. Zoe Alexander, the freshman from Orlando, a Dr. Phillips product, sticking it back in. Here's Bowers, attacking quickly. Ball fake.
Great move. Bowers really a leading factor here in this game.
The lead is swelled to 19. Santa Fe just playing at another gear right now.
This is normally what we see out of Daytona State. That fast, quick, clicking on offense. But Santa Fe is just succeeding on all levels tonight.
Nicholson, another shot on the way. Little long. Westbrook attacking for the Falcons. Oh, nice break, and just cannot catch and finish. That was Manhertz that time, who would have had an easy layup.
Right, and you have to finish those.
But again, that's just Daytona State playing faster than they want to play, thanks to that frantic defense that Santa Fe is setting right now.
Right, and I'm sure obviously when you practice all week to slow down the game, make it work, that
Jones, she is going to town right now in the lane. (39-18).
her and Curry have been a driving force in this game tonight on the defense and offense.
Well, that's what happens when you play a team that's won 7 games in a row. You're seeing why they've won so many games in a row right now. They know exactly the way they want to play, and they're playing that style right now inside the Lemarant Center.
Right, and succeeding on offense and defense, you know, obviously.
Carrie Lee's three is good.
The Swiss Army knife of players, looking obviously to get a little bit of fire out of her. Hopefully that sparks a flame under Daytona State.
Offensive foul called on Jones. And now Janiah Thompson will come in. Manhertz will get a break.
Obviously that one charge taken, no comparison to the 5 taken last week.
And not only does she play, but County Westbrook does not mind taking the mop and doing a little side work here inside the Lemarant Center floor. It's a gorgeous floor, ain't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful floor. Any basketball floor is a beautiful floor, am I right?
Absolutely. That floor does get a lot of moisture there with so many bodies flying all over the place.
Right, and we said last week, obviously, the men were having a little trouble. They had to do a little bit of cleaning up themselves too, just to get moving around the right way.
Thompson draws a foul. Janiah Thompson now will go to the line. Alicia Curry comes back in for Santa Fe. Chardell Jones goes to the bench.
Obviously, the coach sees they're both doing enough to let them in by themselves now instead of working them together.
Thompson just over 5 points a game. Oh, 2 big misses there. Here's a shot by Bogle. This one off. Another second chance from Rothrock. That's her 3rd field goal. And again, those second and third chance points hurting the Falcons.
Right, you can't let balls fly freely like that. If a ball comes off of a rim, it has to be in possession of the offense. You cannot let them maintain so many offensive rebounds. It's going to decide the game.
Now it's Bogle. Rothrock again. Long. Tipped out in the direction of Daytona State. 2:18 left to play here in this first half. First of 2 broadcasts here tonight. Men's game coming up a little bit later. Looking forward to that. What an entertaining men's game we had last week against the College of Central Florida. That was great. Williams leaves it a little short. These, of course, our final basketball broadcast, too, here in the winter, as baseball will be next on deck. A couple broadcasts for you there, and then softball as well, as we go into the months of March and April. Take one more look here.
The foul is on the same Zoe Alexander, her 2nd, team 5th. Daytona State basketball.
Daytona State fans trying to get their team into this game. They trail by 20, and I think the Falcons a little bit shocked right now.
Right, not only that, Santa Fe's crowd has a strong presence as well. They have a lot of fans in the building tonight, and they're cheering their team on just as loud.
Timeout on the floor. So Coach Stebbins wants to talk things over, and we'll take a moment and recognize the students here of the RTV program here at Daytona State College. Students who actively participate in this broadcast, getting hands-on training while completing an AS degree in broadcast television production. They do a tremendous job day in and day out, and not just that, they come to work with a smile, Chance.
Right, and like I said, I work with these guys every day. There's Justin on the screen right there holding the camera. You know, it's just a fun experience coming here to Daytona State and working in the RTV program. It's just unexplainable fun. You get to learn, you get to actually do it. There's nothing to describe it. And especially like students like me who get to do this, have this incredible opportunity to call a game with you, obviously a veteran, and learn as much as I can. It's a great opportunity.
And let me tell you, if I had had these opportunities when I was your age and in school, I would have just gone absolutely crazy. I mean, the opportunities that this school is providing, you guys are so lucky, let me just tell you.
Right, I know you said last time it would have been trouble, and honestly, I believe it. I've listened to a few of your professional games. It's great stuff. So I could definitely believe it'd be trouble.
Meanwhile, Bogle hits a long 3 for Santa Fe, and now Thompson tries to go back to work. And traveling, going to be called on Janiah Thompson.
And Thompson, obviously, again, that post player, that strong post player, and just can't seem to click in the post tonight.
Coach Washington wondering what is she going to do to get her team back in this game. Chances. Santa Fe has just been on a roll. They've been like a buzzsaw here in this first half.
Right, and obviously she's going to have to come up with a great game plan going out of halftime, and obviously a little bit more press, more than the zone, and just give Santa Fe some more pressure here and make sure her team crashes the boards and gets offensive rebounds. And not only that, make sure they're securing defensive rebounds too. You see how long it took them to come out of the backcourt there.
Shot from the baseline, long, and a tie-up underneath the bucket. Ball's going to belong to Santa Fe here with 26 seconds remaining. What a first half for the Santa Fe Saints. Daytona State started strong in the first 5 minutes, but then that defensive pressure has just been too much to handle. Rothrock from the elbow comes off the rim. Falcons, can they get a shot off here? As time winds down, it'll fall short. And that's how we'll end half number one. 44-21. So far, Coach Washington's team trying to just stay with Santa Fe. Hopefully things change as we look forward to the second half with the Mid-Florida Conference lead at stake here in NJCAA Region 8. Nonetheless, it has been a tremendous year of Daytona State Falcons women's basketball, a program led by Coach Janice Washington, doing a tremendous job here on campus.
The thing that has drawn me to basketball early on was surprising. I went to school and graduated with a degree in trust management and financial planning. And I did that field for a full year. And the coach that I played for called me and said, "Hey, Janice, do you want to come and coach?" And I said, "Yes, do I get to wear sneakers every day to work?" And so that was the start of my coaching career. When I initially went back to coaching college basketball after I had graduated, it was very difficult for me to make the connection with the players, mainly because as a player I was very high intensity. I had started all 4 years of my time in college and we won constantly. And getting the players to understand all of the work that it takes to get to that level was very hard because I was not a very relational coach. And so I started working with much younger players at the middle school levels for AAU and then a high school team in Europe. And that's when I realized I needed to coach in fundamental levels with regards to just basic building blocks. Once I got back into college basketball, I understood that a little bit more. And so now I was able to not only develop the relationships with the players and build their confidence, but get the results that I wanted because they knew I cared about their growth as a basketball player as well as, most importantly, as a person. So being able to balance coaching results and improving your basketball talent with caring for the player and what they bring outside of basketball is what was the biggest change for me, and it has proven to be phenomenal because with the young women that we work with on a day in and day out basis, a lot of times their basketball skill set is far beyond where their confidence levels are with regards to self-esteem, with regards to their academics, with regards to their family life. And so making them aware that basketball is a very, very small percentage of who they are is one of the things that we constantly are telling them. The process in building a team that's my own has been spectacular. I've had the opportunity to go to all corners of Florida as well as recruit some players from out of the state. We've been extremely successful with regards to recruiting and what it is that we are looking for from our players with regards to character, talent, academic standards, and all of the things that encompass being a complete student athlete. So the team does spend a lot of time together. They live together, we travel together, we spend about 18 and a half hours of basketball time together, in addition to about 8 hours as a team together during study hall and any other additional volunteer work that we have to do. But they are a group that gets along remarkably well. They like to joke around, as all young people do, and give each other a hard time. But they are a very, very tight-knit group. Of the 4 years that I've been here, this is probably the team that's been the closest. And they have really developed just some long-lasting friendships. So a few of our players to watch are currently sophomores Sherelle Washington and Paris Williams. I'll start with Paris. She's one of our returners from last season. She was a top 40 junior college player last year that got selected to play in the Summer All-Star Game, which is only for the top 40 players in the country, which is a very, very awesome awesome selection for her. She was an all-state player last year, over a 3.0 GPA, and is back starting this season and has been doing well. I believe she's averaging about 11 or 12 points a game. The greatest thing is that her assist to turnover ratio is top in the state, and so she's doing a great job at point guarding for us. Another player to watch is Sherelle Washington, a very exciting player to watch. She is a phenomenal scorer. She was just named state player of the week last week. She had a game where she scored 33 against FSCJ, and then another game where she scored 27 against Central Florida. And in those two games, she went 12 for 18 on three-pointers. And so she is a player that can go from a couple of shots being off to reeling off 16 points in a row. And so those fans that come to the game, they love watching her play because she is a very exciting player to watch. And then we've got our double-double machine, Kiani Westbrook, who is averaging right at 14 points and 9.5 rebounds a game. Her last game, she had 20 points and 22 rebounds. She's just a freshman and has just a phenomenal upside. She posts up, she shoots from the perimeter, she can bring the ball up the court. And so those three players for us have really done a remarkable job since Janae Turner went down with an ACL injury. Overall, I think our team is doing great, and we just want to keep on pushing to finish out the conference season strong.
It's time to express yourself. You were busy over the holidays. We get it. At Daytona State College, we know a thing or two about how to help you stay on track. Our 7-week express courses start March 16th, so you still have time to get started. What are you waiting for? Apply today. Lock in your class schedule and financial aid by going to daytonastate.edu/apply or call 386-506-4DSC.
Starting this January, the 2-year Optician Technology program at Daytona State College prepares students to work in the eye care industry. You'll gain essential skills in a modern clinic and learn how to manufacture eyewear in a state-of-the-art on-site lab. Prepare yourself for an exciting career in a growing in-demand profession. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
Every day I've had to teach someone how to interact with me. Or here at the college, I would have teachers that hadn't had a deaf student before. So I would teach them how to teach me, so that when the next student came up, they're like, okay, yeah, I got this. I know how to handle this.
Right.
I know how to help this student.
Yeah.
And the staff here has been amazing. Through my bachelor's degree, I couldn't have asked for better guidance and support.
But ever since I was in 4th grade, I've always said I wanted to be a teacher. And I ended up teaching 4th grade, which I absolutely love it.
A lot of people, when you tell them you graduated from Daytona State, they're very excited. They know we have a great program and that they prepare us to be out in the field.
For somebody who is interested in the bachelor's program in education at Daytona State College, I would say there's no better place to go. I toured a lot of state schools and I attended classes at different state schools before coming here. And the level of education offered here is very rigorous and comparable. But it's more personal. The faculty cares about you, they know your family, they know your ambitions in life, and they really make sure that you rise up to their expectations and they help you along the way.
When I started school, I was going to go for a 2-year program in physical therapy assisting. But with the math classes, I realized how much I enjoyed math and I enjoyed sharing it with others, so I changed my major. Even if it's going to take a little bit more time, even if it's going to take a little bit more work, if you discover something you really love, make the commitment and go for it.
No matter where you are in your life or in your backgrounds, you can come to this particular school and live out your dreams and pursue your goals and your careers and make your future brighter.
The Daytona state of mind is a comfortable family environment to where I feel anything I need, I can get. And there's no hassle to get it. There's no hesitation to get it. It's all right here. And I don't feel overwhelmed as if I were to go to a larger school or a university with thousands and thousands of students. But the classes are small. It's small enough to where the professors really do care about your education and want to see you succeed.
I want to be able to kind of give back to students, and given opportunities to students, kind of like the opportunities that were given to me. Hopefully within the next couple of years I can start pursuing that goal of mine and furthering my educational career and getting into a principalship type role.
When I was interning at Holly Hill School and Champion Elementary for 1st and 4th grade, I was out of the grocery store one day with my husband, and I had all these little, probably 3 or 4 students that I had been their student teacher come running up and wrap their arms around my legs going, "Mrs. W, Mrs. W." And that just let me know right then and there how much you can impact the community, even just in a short while, and it just furthered my eagerness to get out there and teach.
I'm also excited about my career in life, the enthusiasm I see in the children when they're learning, especially when they get that aha moment. And you have children come to you and they be like, "Mrs. Gaines, I did not like math at first, but when I came into your class, I like math now." So that's kind of exciting for me because that lets me know that I'm doing my job well.
This program builds friendships and bonds, and being a alumni of Daytona State, it's very helpful to have those who you can work with, talk with, and still keep friendships outside of college and program.
There's some days where it's really hard. You're seeing where these kids come from and the obstacles that they have to overtake, but those few seconds every day where you get a hug or you really make a difference, it's worth everything.
What excites me is the content, then I'm able to watch the students get excited in the content. And it's not all about just the science for me, it's about getting to know my students. And that's an exciting thing about my job. And also about my life, I'm a mother of 3 children. And I feel like through going to the school, Daytona State, it's really helped me to accomplish my goals, and I'm able to provide a bright future for my own kids. That maybe some of the experiences that I wasn't able to achieve, that I can help my kids achieve.
With above average earnings and potential for self-employment, the massage therapy program at Daytona State College is financial aid eligible and can be completed in less than 1 year. Get started today. Call 386-506-3052.
Immerse yourself in a wide range of cultural programs at Daytona State College's News Journal Center, home to some of the area's finest theatrical productions, including top-quality musical and stage performances by our own students. Productions are held throughout the year, including concerts, plays, instrumental music, and vocal ensembles. Plus, the Gary R. Libby Gallery features exhibitions of photography, paintings, drawings, and ceramics. Find out more at daytonastate.edu/thearts.
Welcome back to Daytona State College as we get set for half number 2. Here on campus, there's your score, 44-21. Santa Fe College with a monster first half, led by Shardell Jones' 11 points. They have taken the initiative in the first 20 minutes. And now, as I'm joined by Chance Theisen. Chance, let's see if Daytona State can put together what's going to have to be a comeback on their home floor.
Right, yeah, Drew. Obviously, slow first half for the Falcons. Their leading scorer only had 5 points, Paris Williams. She and her team have to get a spark going to light a fire under the Falcons to get them back in this game. And when you've got a strong team like Santa Fe running the floor, pressing on defense, it's very hard to get back into. And like you said, it's going to have to be a comeback for them. So we'll see how this goes.
You can imagine what that halftime speech entailed from head coach Janice Washington, trying to get her team rolling as the defensive pressure was just turned up about 5 notches for Santa Fe. The Saints looking for their 8th win in a row. Daytona State Going to try and neutralize that defense. There's a look at Coach Stebbin. And the Santa Fe Saints. She's won 5 Mid-Florida Conference titles and a state tournament qualifier 11 times the past 13 seasons. You know, this level, it's all about opportunities. Coach Stebbins knows what opportunity is all about. She was a former walk-on in basketball at the University of Florida, and she played volleyball under Mary Wise. She took advantage of every opportunity that was presented to her, and that is what hoops at this level is all about.
Right, you have to take every opportunity possible, whether it's being multi-sport, being a highly academic student. Any opportunities you have to take the chance and make sure you succeed in taking those opportunities.
So Coach Washington says her team wants to run, but also defense so important. There were just too many holes in that zone defense in the first half. I wonder if she's going to make any adjustments here in this second half. As we're set to begin, Carrie Lee will inbound. Paris Williams, number 2, also going to have to get a little bit more involved for Daytona State. She had 5 points as the top scorer for the Falcons in the first half. Westbrook steps out, first shot. Battle for the rebound, and it stays with Daytona State.
Daytona State basketball.
Coach Washington has also emphasized championship intensity. You got to always have it if you want to compete for titles. Now is a good time for that. Jones leading the break. This young lady does everything, coast to coast. Wow.
Right, led her team in the first half. Obviously a great player in the post. 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Just a great player.
Another steal. Alexander this time. Can't convert. Here's Jones, fouled and scores.
Offensive rebounds are ultimately going to decide this game. If the Falcons can't execute, especially on an open, fast break like that, driving at the rim, and she misses a wide-open layup, you have to rebound that. There's no excuse for that.
Timeout, Daytona State. Coach Washington going to let her team have it here as they trail now by 27. Santa Fe more than doubling up the Falcons. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Halifax Health, thrilled to have them aboard in this 2020 athletic year here at Daytona State. Final basketball broadcast here tonight. Women right now, the men following a little bit later as they take on the Santa Fe men. And we've got baseball on March 25th, softball on April 7th, April 8th the next day with baseball. And then softball on April 14th. So 4 more sports broadcasts on WDSC TV after tonight. Here's Jones at the line, and the free throw off. Thompson is fouled by Alexander as she ripped it down. So Chance, I'm going to ask you to put on your coaching hat here because this is going to be a long uphill struggle. If you are Daytona State, how do you get back in this game?
Go up tempo on offense, get strong, be strong at the rim, finish at the rim, be better at the free throw line. And not only that, you just have to get more offensive and defensive rebounds. You can't let plays like that where you just let the ball go. You have to focus on the rebounding, and that's going to be the only way Daytona State gets back in this.
Daytona State basketball.
Carrie Lee will bring it up now. That pressure from Santa Fe is set back just a little bit here. Westbrook tries to go to the goal. Ball comes off the rim and into the hands of Jones. Jones shuffles it to Curry. Drew Felios and Chance Thyssen, part of the RTV program here at Daytona State College. And not just Chance Thyssen, but the birthday boy, Chance Thyssen. Chance, happy birthday today, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I would say this is a great way to spend my birthday. There's nowhere I'd rather be.
You're the best liar in the world, right? Short on the shot. And Chance, it's been so cool working with you. Talk about the experience. Again, the camera right there. Your experience so far taking in Daytona State basketball, and just how about on-the-job training, learning on the air when thousands of people are watching? How does it feel?
Again, greatest liar in the world. I could say it feels great, but it's nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie to you. And obviously, again, working with somebody as experienced as you, it's great to learn. It's fun, obviously. And like you said, a lot of the work's prep, and you have to do as much as you can prep-wise and just being ready. And so it's a lot of fun to learn on the fly.
Puts it up and in. Alexander on the bucket. Daytona State coming right back. Well executed that time by Westbrook. You know, it's funny, too. Everybody, of course, sees and hears us, but the behind-the-scenes crew, the people that really make the magic, have put together a heck of a product here at Daytona State.
Right, and it's fun, and especially I've been one of those students that tries to learn the ins and outs from, even though I want to be an on-air, obviously speaking now, I want to know the behind the scenes. I want to know all the work they put in, and it's fun to watch. We've got great directors and just great people, great atmosphere.
Bucket by Nicholson. Falcons come right back, and Williams will draw a foul and go to the line for Daytona State.
The foul is on the Saints, Alicia Curry, her second, team second.
Sarah Placid checks in for the Falcons. Sailor Manhertz as well. As Paris Williams steps up, sophomore out of St. Pete, the opposite coast. 3.0 GPA, she gets it done in the classroom. And Paris is not really a natural point guard. She's been kind of forced into that role and has taken it on and really embraced it. Likes to think of herself as maybe a little bit more of a shooting guard, but she's done a great job filling that point guard role.
Right, and especially with the loss of Janae Turner, she's had to fill that role and be a leader for her team.
It's probably the most important position in college basketball, men or women, that point guard spot.
It is 100%. That's your floor general. That's your leader of the team. That's somebody you have to have at all times. And she's taken on that position wholeheartedly and has led her team to a lot of great wins.
Alicia Curry with the bucket. Curry, her along with Jones have just been unstoppable so far here tonight.
Not only those two, but Bowers. Bowers has been an incredible force in this game, in this big lead.
And Tanaya Bowers just causing all kinds of problems at the perimeter. Can't make that shot. But again, second opportunity. Nichols tries to come back, scramble for it underneath the goal, and Santa Fe just does not give up as they get a timeout.
Right, you have to fight for a board there, as we've said multiple times now.
Get a chance now to run down our upcoming broadcast here on WDSC TV. March 25th, baseball against the Florida State College of Jacksonville. That at 3 p.m. Softball at 3 p.m. on April 7th. Cannot wait for that. And then the very next day, baseball against Seminole. That another afternoon contest. And then softball on April 14th concludes our 2020 spring calendar. So lots to look forward to here at Daytona State, the 61st anniversary of this great institution. Got a great crowd on hand here tonight. If you're watching at home, you're not doing anything tonight, come on out to the Lemoran Center because we got great basketball action still to come.
100%, Drew. We'd love to have everybody come out, obviously. So if you can make time, please come out. Don't just stay at home. Obviously, we love to have you watch our broadcast, but come out. You'll see it in person. You'll see it live. You'll see everything happen. You'll see the students, the fantastic players. It's just a fun atmosphere to be in.
Coach Washington directing traffic. See if her team can get something going here. Chardell Jones thought about it, now decides to take it off the dribble. Rodriguez, back to Jones, she lets it fly. Too strong. Ball to Daytona State. Chardell Jones heads out, a well-deserved rest. Steep hill to climb right now for the Falcons. Santa Fe is playing a much lighter form of defense here, not nearly as much pressure as they were applying earlier. Williams stepping through again off the bottom of the backboard, and now we got a push on Williams. Taken away, and a foul called.
And that's
Nicholson commits the personals.
And that's the kind of that's the kind of pressure Daytona State has to apply in order to get back in this game. Obviously, a big lead, but still a lot of time left to play.
Sherelle Washington here to inbound. Now, Washington has been very quiet for the Falcons. She averages 16 a game, just has not been able to get rolling.
Right, she only has 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Obviously not giving much for this Falcons offense right now, but hopefully we'll see a little bit of a spark out of her going into the fourth.
Rodriguez, circus shot, a little out of control that time. And you see the extra defense they're applying to Washington. They got Rodriguez on her right now. Falcons looking for some spacing here. They'll work the ball around the perimeter. Fulton lost it as she was going through the lane. It'll stay with Daytona State, 10 seconds to shoot.
Into the Saints, number 21, Denisha Bogle.
Mentioned the 61st anniversary here at Daytona State. This great school began back in 1957 as Daytona Beach Junior College. And tell you what, you drive by Daytona State College and it's almost like you're driving by the University of Florida or Florida State. It is so impressive, a campus here at Daytona State College. It is really awesome.
Right, it is really awesome. Obviously, with the new addition of the new student center, there's a lot of things that Daytona State has done right and have been awesome, especially for resources for students, things like the writing center, moving the library to a new building. It's a great thing, and it's great to see. Obviously, yeah, driving by, it looks like a Florida or a Florida State, and we actually are affiliated with UCF. So a lot of great things coming from there.
Washington stepping back, lets it go off the dribble, and can't hit the shot. Bogle, the rebound for Santa Fe. Santa Fe, their record is 16-10, but this does not look like a team with 10 losses so far. They have been very impressive. Long pass to Washington now. Falcons get a nice bucket. See if Daytona State can just string about 2 or 3 together here. Just have not been able to really have a sustained run. Rothrock, the bank is open late here in Daytona.
Jones inbounding here. Rodriguez driving shot. Money.
Foul called again. Santa Fe kicking it into overdrive here with 2:28 left to play in the third quarter. There's just not an opening for the Falcons to try and jump through here. And as I said, they just have not been able to put together a run. It's going to break up the onslaught here of Santa Fe.
Right, Daytona State just hasn't had an answer for anything Santa Fe's been doing, from the press to stopping the zone. It's been an impressive feat.
Tanai Bowers at the line, freshman out of Trenton. And the two-sport athlete has really been impressive. 5 points. It seems like she's had a lot more. Just made a difference on every single play. Rothrock gets another rebound and draws contact. Offensive rebounds hurting the Falcons here tonight. Daytona State now will huddle up. Talk things over here, as we have got a timeout with 2:25 left in the third quarter. Not just basketball coaches, but other coaches in the house here tonight at Daytona State. There is Kelly Harrell, the women's softball coach. I mentioned how softball is just around the corner. Looking forward to that. Coach Harrell, still pretty much new to this great institution here at Daytona State. Can't wait to watch the ladies play a little bit later on here this winter. You know, February means softball season, March, April, just a great time of year. And it starts getting warmer here in the Sunshine State. You know, sophomore also, or rather softball. Softball is such a fun sport to watch, so fast, so athletic. Nowadays the game has really changed and it's just grown exponentially, as we're going to have, looks like a technical foul has been called here. So Rothrock going to the line, off on the first free throw.
In for the Falcons, number 12, Sarah Classic. Santa Fe basketball.
Classic coming back in, obviously off of a hot game last week. Hasn't contributed much tonight, but looking for a spark out of her.
Coming up on 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Rothrock. Now it's Bowers. Lost that left-handed dribble. Rodriguez takes a bump. No foul called this time. And look at the Santa Fe bench. Everybody up on their feet and into this game. It's always great to see not just the 5 players on the floor, but the bench that is really always standing up, cheering and rooting on their teammates. A lot of the reserves on that end of the bench have been active throughout this entire game.
Right, you got to be careful, though. Obviously, can't have more than one coach standing one time as JUCO, and players. Obviously, you've seen the coaches a couple times run and push their girls back like, hey, sit down. We don't need a tech.
Coach Stebbins has had her game face here tonight. Fulton tries to get to the rim. Jones looks off a pass, tries to take it in. Left it short. Westbrook was fouled. Keep in mind, these two teams did split in their prior meetings. Both teams won a game. Santa Fe has been dominant. Still with a little more than a quarter to play. Tapped out. And over to the Saints. They've been working it inside all night effectively. Outside, Bogle spotting up. Good box out by the Falcons. Another foul coming here. Bowers with the body. And Fulton was fouled as she tried to take it back down court. And we'll have free throws. Daytona State now in the penalty.
Obviously, Santa Fe showing a lot of defensive pressure here, pushing off. Seems unnecessary, but
Kaya Fulton, sophomore out of Americus, Georgia. Chance, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that, hey, man, this is your girl. Explain that. You guys have got a great friendship going on, classmates as well? Or,
right,
you know?
yeah, Kaya and I have a great relationship, obviously. See her outside all the time. Great student, great friend of mine.
Awesome. It's a great thing about being a student here and getting a chance to get to know some of these athletes up close. Seen some great ones go through already the time you've been here on campus.
Right, yeah, I had obviously 7 of the men's players last year go D1. I have a close relationship with all of them. Watched Bryce Williams and Hadim Seed up in Florida a couple weeks ago when they played at UF.
Wow. Carrie Lee, see if she can do something with it. Well, it seems like there's 6 players on the court wearing navy blue. Up and in for Nicholson.
The foul is on the Saints, Yade Rodriguez, her first. And the line for the Falcons, Westbrook for 2.
Westbrook back at the line.
Westbrook, 6 points. Obviously, though, 3 turnovers, but still has 2 blocks, 3 rebounds. No assists, but still been a pretty strong player here in tonight's game.
61-29. Coming up on the final 10 seconds of the third quarter.
Going to have to be an impressive fourth quarter by the Falcons here to get them back into this one, but maybe a little far out of reach.
Curry's pass to Bogle. Three-pointer up. There's the offensive rebound, and they will count the bucket. Nicholson gets it to go off the glass as time expires, and that possession kind of sums up the night for Daytona State. It has just not been the Falcons' night on the floor thus far. 63-29. Nobody would have expected this. But still, no matter what the score, the support here on campus is going to be unconditional. There's Bart Sasnett, the head men's soccer coach, and doing such a great job with the men's soccer team here at Daytona State. They, of course, play in that beautiful stadium, and in just 4 short years, what a program he has put together.
Right, a great men's soccer program here at Daytona State. Obviously, recruits from all around the world. Have a lot of teams actually come from overseas to play here in our great new stadium. Great broadcast booth up there. It's super fun to be in.
Women's volleyball team is also in the house. I love how one athletic program supports the other. And tell you what, the women's volleyball team, they were so fun to watch earlier this fall.
We begin the fourth quarter with Daytona State putting the ball into play.
Well, 10 minutes left for Coach Washington and the Falcons to put something together. So chance you may not win this game if you're Daytona State, but you still want to finish as strong as possible.
Right, absolutely. And again, as Coach Washington mentioned before, that same intensity she wants to be shown from her players, whether you're up 40, down 40. You have to show that same intensity and that drive to want to win.
Jones, oh, what a pass.
Fantastic. See the ref telling them there, as I mentioned earlier, they got to be careful or they're going to end up with a tech, and she's already warning them, hey, back up.
Rodriguez fouled as she was on the deck. I guarantee you the men's team at Daytona State getting an eye at some of this game, and they're going to make sure that they are ready to play against the Saints in our next game. Good crowd on hand here at the Lemarant Center. Kaya Fulton down the court.
Great
extra
patience.
pass, spotting up. Oh, another collision that time. Carrie Lee took a shot to the head as she hit the deck.
See, fighting for a board here, just
Right.
go for it.
Ooh, right there, an elbow right to the face. Ouch.
Obviously unintentional, but yeah, I bet that one's gonna, she's gonna feel that in the morning, right?
Ooh, feeling it right now. Fulton tries to get in the lane. Rodriguez fouled her.
The foul is on the Saints, Yade Rodriguez, her second.
So foul on Rodriguez.
And the line for the Falcons, Fulton for two.
Kaya Fulton back at the line for the Falcons. Start of the men's game will be about 20 minutes following the conclusion of this one. Saints still pushing the ball up court. Fulton stripped from behind, another foul. We're racking up the whistles here in this fourth quarter.
The foul is on the Saints, Shardell Jones, her third, team third. In for the Saints, number 10, Zoe Alexander.
Officials discussing something here before we inbound it.
Daytona State basketball. In for the Falcons, number 2, Paris Williams.
Paris Williams back in for Daytona State. Coach Stebbins still pleading her case. Her team with a comfortable lead. Our officials tonight keeping things in check. It's been a very physical game, especially in the first half. Washington, nice pick and roll. Puts it up and in. Nicely done for Westbrook. Rodriguez hurrying it down court. Alexander's got to chase it down and unsuccessfully. Turnover will go over to Daytona State. And as I said before, you're likely not going to win this game. But for Daytona State, Coach Washington just wants to see effort and just try and string something together here in this fourth quarter. A consistent stretch to build upon for the next game.
Right, yeah, and especially going down into the last games of the season, all games are important games, and especially this one. So with them, obviously, bearing a completely amazing comeback, they have taken their loss on this one and need to start focusing on next week. But yes, she still wants that effort and enthusiasm coming out of them, and then to build and bring that into next week.
Still plenty of games left for Daytona State as they'll take on the Impact Academy on February 15th, just in 3 days. Missed by the Saints. Carrie Lee now leading the break. Timeout by Coach Janice Washington. Her team will huddle up here. 7:18 left to play inside the Lemarance Center. It's tough on nights like this. We're really going to find out what this Daytona State women's team is made of. In any sport, some nights it's just not your night. And you got to find a way to take something, learn from it, and improve and come back stronger than ever before.
Right, there's obviously a lot to learn from this game on the rebounding side, and especially in patience on offense. They wanted to move, and they came into the game, seemed like they were wanting to slow the tempo down. But when you have a game like this, especially one that's so important, you have to let your girls play, and just a lot to work with going into next week, or in the next couple of days.
And on the other side for Santa Fe, what effort they have shown here in the last few hours. Lead of 34 points right now. Coach Washington doing a good job staying composed, level-headed here, trying to navigate through some tough waters. Here as the final stretch of the season is upon the Falcons. Good look inside, and they'll count the bucket. Sarah Placid, freshman out of Orlando, gets it to go. And we'll have one shot. Chardell Jones has been the one to stop tonight for Santa Fe. She wears number 4. Here she is with it. Curry at the free throw line. Alexander. Foul call.
Right, for sure. Jones has been unstoppable tonight. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 15 points. It's been an incredible outing by her. Not only that, but Zoe Alexander, 4 steals, has been the driving force of that transition offense tonight.
Yeah, some of the most impressive moves I think that we have ever seen coming out of Jones tonight. Kaya Fulton comes in for Paris Williams. There's Jones again, getting to the goal. That first step is so quick, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Just once she gets in the post and gets moving, you can't stop her.
Carrie Lee out to Riley. Riley can't hit iron. Saved to the Falcons and stuck in by Westbrook.
A little bit of a questionable decision there to save that, obviously. Must have thought it went out on her teammate or something.
Nicholson to Curry. Curry scores. It's also interesting. You've still got the starters in for Santa Fe. And the lead is 34 points with just over 5 minutes.
Right, well, that brings that mentality of, playing the same way, up 40 or down 40. Coach obviously is wanting her starters in to stay fresh, and be sure they can keep the same energy going in to the end of the game and into their next game.
Yep. It's all about maintaining that momentum.
Right.
Santa Fe has it working right now.
And not only that, kind of like last week, that in and out, like you said, like hockey, that constant in and out. That's mainly why their starters are still in, because they've been subbing in and out so much, is that they've been in multiple times throughout the night.
Kaya Fulton puts it in for the Falcons. Westbrook will now head up, try and get a rebound. And we're going to have free throws on the other end now. Both teams in the penalty. I believe, no, we'll see. Actually, we may inbound here for Santa Fe. Still one more before we're in the penalty. And a little bit more sweeping going on here on that far side. Take a look at this beautiful facility, the Lemoran Center. Full service concession stand here on campus, just outside the arena. Shot from the corner. This one is long. Curry there to clean it up.
Curry constantly fighting for a board and getting it back up, especially on offense. And not only on offense, but on defense, she's been fantastic.
She has been like the Energizer Bunny. Just does not stop. Keep going and going and going. Riley's pass tipped. Rodriguez. Falcons now will try and settle things with Fulton. Fulton, strong take, draws the whistle. Rothrock checks in for the Saints. Jones comes out, so does Nicholson. This Daytona State team has overcome a lot off the court. Coach Washington told us last week about some of the personal challenges that some of the players have had to face with friends and family members. Life about so much more than just basketball sometimes, and the way that the team has been able to come closer together, keep on playing, and friendships have grown and bonds have been made. It's been something special to watch and coach as Daytona State continues to fight here in the final quarter. Carrie Lee puts it in at and one.
Right, and Carrie Lee obviously just had that block on our end of the floor. Great getting back on transition, getting a rebound, and getting the ball back in the hoop.
Carrie Lee averaged a triple-double in her senior year at Clearwater High School. There's the steal. Falcons now starting to create something. Lee trying to stick one in traffic. Westbrook, fight underneath. And now you're starting to see some real intensity from Daytona State.
Right, obviously Santa Fe starting to slow down a little bit, putting some of their reserves in. But again, still that same point of keeping the same energy. The Falcons are showing that right now, and obviously a little out of reach for the win, but still looking for the same amount of fight.
Falcons powered up. A little bit too strong. Lee trying to save it, can't do it.
Santa Fe basketball.
Curry comes out for Santa Fe. What a night she has had.
some of that full court press here by the Falcons that we were seeing from Santa Fe in the first half.
Extra pass now to Rothrock. One of the few shots she has missed tonight. Once again, stay tuned. About 20, 25 minutes following the conclusion of this game, we've got the men's side, Santa Fe and Daytona State, here on this week of the Daytona 500. Tie up, Sarah Placid got her hands on it. Stays with the Saints. I have never been to a NASCAR race in person. I've wanted to go to the 500 forever. Can you hook me up with some tickets?
Actually, we need to talk after this.
Okay.
No, I actually haven't ever been to a NASCAR race either, but I know a lot of guys who go. Obviously, a friend of mine who works up at ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut, he comes down for the Rolex every year, and he's told me, he's like, man, come out and watch the race. It's a great time. And I'll be honest with you, NASCAR isn't specifically my cup of tea. Obviously, respect all of the athletes and racers inside of it. But if I want to watch somebody drive around in circles, I'm not going to waste my money. I'm going to stay at home and watch it on TV and listen to guys like us talk about it.
That's right. TV broadcast is so good nowadays. It's almost better than going live, but still, the buzz, the feel of going there, being in person, just like being in person here at the Lemarant Center. Can't replace that.
No, absolutely not at all.
And should I promise to fans who come out here to the Lemarant Center, Chance, to watch Daytona State sports, that they may have a chance to get your autograph? If they do, come out.
I 100% believe that. The players always after the game thank the fans for being here. And I guarantee if you walk down and ask one of the girls or guys for their autograph, I guarantee you'll get one. So, I mean, hey, you never know. You may see some of these guys or gals in the WNBA or NBA one day. So I'll be honest with you. Take your chance while you got it. Come down, get an autograph. Come watch a great game.
Absolutely. Here's Tamara Peterson set to check in for Daytona State. Camille Pringle, number 41, in for Santa Fe. Saints have not slowed down here tonight. In the corner, Bogle, shot just a little bit wide. Bowers, maybe the smallest player on the court, comes out of the pack. The hustle of this Santa Fe team, if they continue to play with this type of intensity, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the regional playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah. When you've got players like Bowers who come out and have, a game where not necessarily a lot of points, only has 5 points, but 4 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. If you keep playing like that.
There's Rothrock. Little smile after that. She's having herself a night. Fulton trying to tee one up. Bowers attacking the goal with the left hand. Riley wide open. Can't get the roll. Fulton fighting for it. And Peterson going to be fouled on the follow. Rodriguez picks up her third foul. Mentioned the upcoming schedule for Daytona State. Impact Academy coming up in 3 days. Then Florida State College of Jacksonville. That'll be a week from tonight here at the Lemarant Center. February 22nd, they head to the College of Central Florida. Get the Patriots one more time.
I gotta lie to you, the Santa Fe bench got me vibing over here. Got a good little beat going.
And a timeout called. 1:58 left to play here on campus at Daytona State College. 74-39 is your score. And take a moment to get a few substitutes in for both sides. Camille Pingrel right in front of us will inbound the basketball.
Is that Pringle?
Yep.
Wonder if we get a sponsorship.
Pringle is a sophomore out of a Coe. Coe's got a pretty nice football tradition there as Denasia Bogle heads to the line. Bogle, one of those players that comes off the bench, not a starter, but so eager when her number is called, and she just gives this lineup energy immediately upon checking in. Number 21, she drains a free throw. And again, hard to believe Santa Fe has 10 losses on the year. They have just been all over the place here tonight. Daytona State will now work it. Nice pass on the back door, and converting is Carrie Lee. Bogle to Pringle. Those two last names certainly fit. And again, Santa Fe with an opportunity. Doucette trying to tee it up. Into the hands of Bogle again. Finally, Fulton able to rip it down. 1 minute to play. 1 minute here at Daytona. Drew Felios, Chance Thyssen. Keep in mind the men's game coming up about 20 minutes following this one. Soto can't get it to drop. I'll tell you what, as we sit here and call the action, I smell some pretty good wings eating behind us. Maybe those courtesy of the concession stand, hopefully.
Hopefully the concession. I mean, I'm thinking more of Bethune Grill down the road, but that or Wingstop. There's a new Wingstop down the road here from the school.
Is there really?
Yes. Obviously, you know, based out of Texas, not really here very often, but I'll tell you what I really want is a Whataburger.
Okay. You know all the places here.
And that's what's great about Daytona State, too, is coming here to school, is there's so many great options for students, low, obviously, you know, not necessarily low priced, but, you know, in the price range that a college student can afford.
Soto had it poked out, and now 15 seconds. Well, it has been, again, not an easy night for Daytona State. They just have not had their A game here. But again, we hope Coach Washington's team can just kind of soak this one in and forget about it. Throw the tape away, come out next game, take care of business. 75-43 going to be the final score as Santa Fe defeats Daytona State. Here to take control of Mid-Florida Conference NJCAA Region 8. Daytona State with a strong start, but then Santa Fe was just like a freight train from about the 5-minute mark of the first quarter the rest of the way. They did not let up. And it was just impressive from nearly start to finish for the Saints. Lead scorers, Alicia Curry had 14, Chardell Jones with 17 for Santa Fe. And for Daytona State, Chance, what have you got for the Falcons?
Got Keani Westbrook, obviously 11 points, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds, leading scorer. And then Carrie Lee, obviously 8 points, but, you know, obviously a little bit on the weaker side, 3 turnovers.
Look at the rebounding story. Santa Fe pulled down 48 rebounds on the night. Daytona State only 33, a 15 rebound difference. And that certainly was a big difference in that department. So again, the final score, 75-43 as Santa Fe takes down Daytona State. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and the official healthcare provider for the Daytona State Falcon Athletic Program. Again, special thanks to Halifax Health. We invite you to hit us up on social media here tonight. Twitter at DSC Falcon Sports, Facebook as well at Daytona State College Athletics, and Instagram at DSC Falcon Sports. Thank you so much for joining us here at Daytona State College and the Lemoran Center. Men's action coming up in just over 20 minutes. Until then, for Chance Dyson and our phenomenal crew, part of the RTV program here at Daytona State, I'm Drew Felios, and we will see you for the men's game coming up shortly. Stay tuned, and so long.
Students in the Daytona State College Broadcast Television Production Associate of Science degree worked as production crew members in the preceding program.